Hi everyone, this is Tanner here from the Man to Man Coach Podcast YouTube channel, and welcome to a new series I like to call Turnover Tuesday. On this channel, we like to talk about NFL football, but I thought, what if we turned the ball over, a bit of a pun there, and talked about college football. So every Tuesday from here on out, it'll be basically a college-based football video, whether it be a mock draft, positional ranking, stuff of that nature. Now, I will say this, kind of a heads up. I am not the most informed on this topic of the college prospects, but I've done a bit of research on the great players, and I have a good idea. This is more from the NFL view and kind of team fits. This is going to be round one, the projected pick. So let's get in. We're going to select all teams here. So let's draft. I think Kayvon Thibodeau goes number one to the Lions. Just makes so much sense. Reminds me of a couple of years ago when the Browns took Myles Garrett. Just get your dominant defensive player here, Detroit. I just think it'll be a great pick. And I really like Thibodeau. I think the hype is true with him. Evan Neal, I think, goes to the Texans at number two. I think the Texans aren't terrible as people think. Their wide receivers are nice. Their D line's fine. They could use some corner help, but I just like taking Evan Neal. Great offensive lineman out of Alabama. Just one of the better prospects in this class. I have him gone at two. All right, a bit of a shakeup here. Every draft, we usually have something wacky going on with the quarterback. And I think that happens here. I do think that a trade does happen as the Giants, I think, trade up with the New York Jets to take the quarterback. I think the Giants would offer 6. You have 8. I think you give up 41, 111, and next year's 5th. Let's see if this would be accepted. And it is. Listen, Daniel Jones has some nice elements to him, but I feel like he's someone that if you stick with him, he'll be an average quarterback. Very much like how Andy Dalton for the Bengals for a long time was just a good-ish quarterback. That's why I see Daniel Jones paying out. I think you need to take a risk, and that's why I think you go with Malik Willis, my favorite quarterback in this class. I love the way he can stretch the play. He has a great deep arm. He's athletic. He's going to help the Giants hit this upside. I think you take Malik Willis pretty high up. The Jaguars here at 4. I think you take Chris Olave. Nice wide receiver out of Ohio State. Jaguars wide receivers have been very disappointing. Laviska Shenault is looking very dangerously like a bust. Marvin Jones, you brought him in. He's fine. I just think you need someone to help Trevor Lawrence. I think you go Chris Olave. Eagles, they have a couple first-round picks. I think you take Kyle Hamilton, one of my favorite players in this class. He's explosive, kind of instinctual safety. But he's not just a safety. He can tackle. He can, force fumbles. He's kind of this player who reminds me a lot of Derwin James. I just really like Hamilton. The Eagles need safety as a fan of theirs. And, I like this selection a lot. Now the Jets have 2 picks in a row due to the trade. I just love Derrick Stingley here. This is a move I think could happen. Jets need corner. I love Stingley. He's athletic. Corner in this NFL is tough because you got to be risky, but also be disciplined. I think Stingley has that. Also just like LSU too, so a bit of bias there, I think. But Stingley, I think, makes a lot of sense. He's ranked number 4 on this PFN mock draft simulator. Really good website. And then I think you go Kenon Green. Jets need O-line, protect Zach Wilson. Just very good on lineman in the interior. Great stance. It's going to be hard for defenders to get past him. I like Kenon Green a lot. I think he could be a multiple-time Pro Bowler, just a very good player. Giants back at 8. Now, this is a very interesting selection for New York of where do they go. I thought about this a lot. I like their offense. I think Saquon's fine. I thought about O-line. I think they're going to let them develop. Joe Judge, the head coach of the Giants, is very risky. And it seems like the Giants like to take very athletic players who have high upside. That's why I think they go Jordan Battle. He's someone who is very interesting in the college football world. People love him. People are eh. I think Battle either goes top 15 or goes like second, third round. I don't think there's any in between. I think the Giants take a risk. I think he could work out in this scheme. And that's why I have the Giants taking at 8. Washington football team needs a quarterback. Taylor Heinicke's nice, but I think they take Matt Corral. Now listen, I'm low on Matt Corral. I still think he's a first-round prospect. He turns the ball over a lot. He kind of reminds me of a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold type where, um, he can play in rhythm at times. He'll have these big plays, but the turnovers are there. I do think in Washington they could help him correct his mistakes, and I do see him becoming a pretty nice quarterback for Washington. I do like that fit a lot there. So Matt Corral, I have him going to Washington. Then the Dolphins, they need offensive line. I think you take Tyler Lindenbaum, a bit of a reach, but just very athletic. Dolphins need a line. Not that much else to say. You got to reach on O-line in this league that we're in. Eagles at 11. This is a very interesting selection because they pick again at 15. Looking at the board, I think you take Garrett Wilson, just a really great wide receiver. Devonte Smith played fantastic for Philly. No one else is really contributing. I think you take Wilson. I really like this pick. The Falcons' defense is terrible. I mention it probably 20 times a week. I think Aiden Hutchinson, just great edge player, very fast, can get to the quarterback fast. I like this pick a lot, actually, for Atlanta. I think Atlanta has playoff potential, and I think this pick will help them realize it. Vikings are probably going to have a new regime. Regardless of that, I think they go Kara Elam, corner out of Florida. He just fits with this Vikings team. He's very fluid. You'll be going up against some interesting quarterbacks in that NFC North. I think Elam's a nice player. I just feel like that the Vikings need corner, and this makes sense, so that's where I have them going. Next up, the Broncos at 14. I think you take quarterback Sam Howell. I like Sam Howell. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I think he has good potential. He kind of feels like this Broncos quarterback, just kind of this big-name guy, great personality. I think he'll just fit in this kind of Midwest scheme. I like his deep ball, and I think that's something you could do with Denver. People like Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant. I just think he can really expand the team. You have a good running game there in Denver. Yeah, you could go defense, but I just feel like you got to take Sam Howell here. The fact that he's at 14 is really special, and I think you can capitalize on it. So I really like this pick here for the Broncos, and I have that happening at 14. Then we have the Eagles at 15. This was a really tough decision, but I really love this pick for them. Now, I cannot pronounce this guy's name for the life of me, but we have George Karlaftis. He's just a nice edge player who has a kind of burst about him. The Eagles have a lot of veteran D linemen. I think you get someone younger. Plus, Derek Barnett's been disappointing. I really like this pick for Philly. Next up with the Browns, they're a really good team. Offensive line's good. You're good at running back. Maybe quarterback, I don't know yet. Defense, I like. I think you need a wide receiver. I really like Treylon Burks to the Cleveland Browns. He kind of is this big wide receiver, almost your Odell Beckham Jr. replacement. And I don't know, I just like this. The Browns are a really hard team to draft for, but I just feel like that the offense the Browns run, you go play action, you just kind of want that physical wide receiver to kind of just get the ball and bring it down. I think Burks really fits that, so I have that happening at 16. The Bengals, I think you go offensive line. Sean Ryan, I really like this. Just kind of a physical guy, plug and play, don't have to worry about it for a couple of seasons. Just a really great player. I really like this move here. Now, one play I'm very low on in this class is the Marvin Leo. I just don't see with him. I think teams taking defensive tackles very early can really burn you out. Yes, you could get Aaron Donald, but that's very unlikely. I do think the Marvin Leo, though, fits the Raiders. He's nice. He's explosive. Max Crosby on the edge. Gets someone inside. I like this pick, and I think that's what happens at 18. Now, 19 for the Panthers. This was one I thought about a bit. Wide receiver could be a need here, but there's no one at the moment. Quarterback, I don't know. Defensively, I'm going to go Daxton Hill, actually. I think you're great at corner, and I think you get a veteran safety to pair along with Jeremy Chin. Build this defense young. I really like Daxton Hill. He's athletic. I think the Panthers have shown we can take young, raw prospects and make them great players on the defense. Shaq Thompson, Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin. I think you add Daxton Hill. Offensive line could be in consideration possibly, but there's no one I really love. I'm going to go with Daxton Hill here. at 19. Then the Chargers, they really need defensive tackle help. Jordan Davis, just get a good player there for that D-line of LA. Next up, we're going to have another trade. Now, a quarterback hasn't been taken in a while, but teams are coming up. Steelers could be taking one. Do the Saints? Questions start to creep in. And I think the Lions take notice of that. And I think the Detroit Lions make a trade here. So I'm going to go with the Lions and have them trade up to this pick of the Saints. Let's see. We'll make this a realistic trade. Now, the Lions do pick at 27, but I feel like that they don't want to get jumped. So I'm going to offer 27. I'm going to offer 65. I'm going to offer next year's 4th. And I'm going to go 180 here. Hopefully, maybe next year's 3rd. Let's see. Is that enough for New Orleans? It is. And the Lions take my second favorite quarterback in this class, Carson Strong. I love Carson Strong. He seems like a great guy. On social media, he's very pleasant. He kind of has this confidence you like, but he's not cocky. He's a very great pocket passer. He can make those reads. He just kind of has a blue-collar work ethic at quarterback. He reminds me a lot of Mac Jones, who's played really great so far in the NFL. So I just think this pick makes a lot of sense. I really like Carson Strong to the Lions. I think he's your new franchise quarterback. The Patriots are tough because I do think they need wide receiver, and I do think you take Drake London. Now, is he the best player available? No, but you definitely need a wide receiver. He's kind of a good one-on-one jump ball, someone this Patriots offense needs. I think he goes here at 22. The Chiefs need defense. I like Drake Johnson here. A bit of a fall for him. I like him. I don't love Drake Johnson. He's very raw. This is kind of the players the Chiefs loves. These kind of athletic players who could have high upside. I think this is definitely a risk that they take. And I have Drake Johnson going to Kansas City. Tampa Bay, I think they should go running back. I don't know if they will, but Isaiah Spiller's a good running back. He just is a great receiver as well. Good piece for this Tampa Bay offense. Then the Steelers, I think you take Kenny Pickett. I do like Kenny Pickett a good amount. I think he's a good quarterback. He's from Pittsburgh. You take the home area kid here if you're the Steelers. Get your QB of the future. You don't have a ton of other needs. I really like this selection there for the Steelers. Next up, the Ravens. There's areas you could go with for them. It's kind of questioning, okay, where do you go? You know, there's a lot of questions, and I think a trade actually happens here. I'm going to have the Arizona Cardinals trading up and taking Myjai Sanders, who's an edge rusher. I think with the fact that Chandler Jones could be a free agent and the option that J.J. Watt has health concerns, the Cardinals play very well on the edge, and I do think that they trade up here and take Sanders. Maybe the Warrior team like Dallas takes him. That just kind of makes sense to me. I like Sanders. He's a nice player, and I think he would be a really good player that could start now, but also kind of the future. So that's what I have happening here. Sanders to Arizona. Then the Saints at 27. So they are sitting here. They're waiting, and I think they actually trade back again. I know that sounds kind of a bit insane, but I think that the Bills actually hop up. The play in question is Andrew Booth, a very nice corner, and I could see the Cowboys taking this player. The Cowboys have Trayvon Diggs. They need another corner. The Bills have Tre'Davious White. Yeah, Levi Wallace is nice. I think with the Bills, like, hey, we could get another corner. I think they leapfrog the Cowboys. So I think the Saints actually trade back again. I know this is insane, but this could happen. I think that the Bills, if you have another guy opposite Trey Wright, I mean, that's going to be lockdown secondary. So I'll say 29. I'll say 208. I don't know this too much or too little. Is this good enough? Really? Okay, come on. Sometimes the trade engine's a bit weird with this. We've had a lot of success, though, today. Okay, I'll go 29. I'll go 93. And I'll go next year's 6th. Come on. Almost at the restart. Okay, we're good. Andrew Booth, you pair him up with Trey Wright. I'm not the biggest fan of Andrew Booth. I think he's very kind of boom or bust, but I do like that pairing in Buffalo. And the Cowboys, like, oh my, Booth went from us. I think you take Charles Cross, good alignment. You still get a good player. It's okay, Cowboys fans. You have a great offensive line, but there's some holes here and there, and your O-line's getting older. So I think this is also a good draft pick for the future. And now we arrive to the Saints, who I think take Desmond Ridder, quarterback. I love this option for them. This makes sense in so many ways. First of all, I like Ridder a lot. He has this ability to extend the play. He's very fast and elusive in the pocket. He has a really nice throwing motion. And I think that he has that leadership. He presents himself very well. He reminds me a lot of kind of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's elusive. He has that kind of cool, quick throwing motion. And Ridder has Russell Wilson's leadership. So I think he's someone who's going to lead this Saints team. Yeah, I like Jameis Winston in New Orleans, but I think Ridder's the future. I think Desmond Ridder with Sean Payton, that is going to be really dangerous for years to come. I love this. I think it could happen. I know Ridder's projected to go late, but I think this is almost like Lamar Jackson going to the Saints a couple of years ago. Or Lamar Jackson going to the Ravens a couple of years ago. You can't take the risk. I think it pays off well. Now, the Ravens trade back. I think you go Akeem Awuna. Go good offensive lineman. That's something that the Ravens need. Titans, you have holes in the secondary. I think you take him on Gardner. He's been a very nice corner. He's fallen a bit here, but I really like this selection. He could also have gone to Tampa Bay, but I like him here to the Titans. Out in the corner. And then the Packers to end things off. There's a lot of ways you could go with this. Their defense is playing very well. I think you're good there. You have Devonte Campbell, linebacker. Nakobe Dean is tempting because he's very good at stopping the run, but you have that in Campbell. I think that you actually go offensive line with Nicholas Piette-Free. I do like him a lot. He's a great athlete, and I think that if Aaron Rodgers does retire, probably going to be running the ball a lot, Green Bay, next season with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. I think you get someone who is athletic and can help with run blocking, kind of getting up front there and stopping the run. And that is the mock draft, everyone. That is what we have here. I think that for the most part, I like the way this turned out a lot. Kayvon Thibodeau, I could see. Evan Neal, I could see. Malik Willis to the Giants, it is very interesting, but that's more of what I would do. Olave, Hamilton, I kind of try to go with players fall in drafts, try to have a bit of some shockers in there. I really like the quarterbacks, Matt Corral to Mississippi, Malik Willis to Liberty. I really love Sam Howell to Denver. I like Carson Strong to the Lions, them trading up. Kenny Pickett to Pittsburgh, and then Desmond Ridder to the Saints. I really love that one. A lot of O-linemen, a couple good defenders there. I like Jake Johnson to the Chiefs. The picks I kind of feel the most unsure about is about 18 here through 22. I love Carson Strong, but Daxton Hill to the Panthers, I don't know. I do like the fit, though. Drake London, I think the Patriots need wide receivers. So a bit of reaches, but I think ultimately it'll work out. But anyways, let me know what y'all think here for this first episode of Turnover Tuesday. This was a lot of fun to do, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care and have a good one.